Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing a little articulation analysis video, specifically talking about who makes the best torso and head articulation. I wanted to get into this and share my thoughts about it. And first, I wanted to make it very clear that if you're trying to get your Marvel Legends or your Jada toys, you can do so at
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Hey, gotta show love for Big Bad Toy Store. Thank you so much to BBTS for supporting this channel. Now, I got into it, not like a fight or anything, but just a little back and forth with Anthony's customs. And one thing I noticed, and I'm kind of going off on a tangent right from the very beginning, but I do see people repeating Anthony's customs talking points in comment sections all over the place, which is fine. If you share his opinion, that's great. I think that's cool. But you guys do sound like you're just like ripping off word for word the things that he says in his videos. I like to watch a lot of reviewers, and Anthony's one of them, and I could hear him say it, and then I see you write it. Anyway, you may see me agreeing with Anthony in this video, you may not. Just right off the bat, this one, in my opinion, has the best head and neck articulation. This figure right here has the best torso articulation. And I'm going to get into defending both of those points fairly thoroughly. Now here's the thing, is we want figures that look really good, and we want them to articulate very well. It's tricky to do that because you're going to sacrifice some of the aesthetics for the articulation, and you're going to sacrifice articulation for aesthetics. This is the best in my opinion because when he looks up, it doesn't really distort the figure too much. Now, when this one looks up, it doesn't really distort the figure at all. Well, you could say not at all, but to me, I see this line going around the throat right there, and that's just not my favorite. And I have a couple other figures here to compare it to now. But Mafex, they are an import company. I have this extra one missing an arm. I like to use this as an example because I think ideally we want to have this kind of head articulation where you can look all the way up right there. You have this double ball joint system where they actually put a bend in the peg right here. And what that does is it does not allow you to move the head down at all whatsoever. You cannot get that head to look down at all. The neck allows you to let it move down, but it makes it look very far upward. But to my surprise, you actually get more range of movement with just the ball joint and the hinge than even Mafex over here. And the Jada Toys doesn't come anywhere near this at all. And then, I mean, of course, Hasbro also did this one. This is just a terrible, stupid mistake. And then looking at the new Wolverine figure, which, by the way, yeah, the shoulders do sit a little on the low side. Yeah, I see that. Doesn't make me a shill. That was certainly uncalled for, and anyone calling me a shill, you're just wrong. I've never been paid by any company to say anything. And I'm actually very honest with you guys. I let you guys know when I get stuff for free. Some people don't do that. Some reviewers just don't let you know when they get stuff for free. So maybe they would be a shill in your eyes if you only knew. Anyway, that can't look up very well at all. And the dirt on the teeth thing, you don't notice it when you're holding it from this far away. Like, this is how close the lens is. This is how close the figure is. You're not going to see the teeth. Now, zoomed in with a macro lens, yeah, but you're not going to see it on the shelf like that. Anyway, so this wins for me because that doesn't look bad having that in there. It's really not that bad to me. And it's pretty rare you're going to have your figure posed, you know, facing you in this direction, looking all the way up. Most of the time, if it's looking all the way up, ooh, got an email, it's going to be like this or off to the side, you know, realistically. And that's what I'm saying. You got to trust the reviewers that actually take photos of the figures and poses them around and actually plays with them like how you play with them. So this, to me, just blatantly wins it. On top of it, you do get pivoting at the head with these. There's like a lot of, and you could even half it on here and get even more pivoting. Look at that. So how much more range of movement do you need? I guess you want to tilt all the way that way. Let's see. So now it's one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, that definitely looks a lot more natural, but I don't know. I don't like having the ring around the throat. This one just looks better to me, and you can get more movement right there. So I do prefer this. That's just my preference. Again, it's all formula of aesthetic versus range of movement, and I feel like you get more movement, and the sacrifice for the aesthetics to me is the same as this. You have the hinge sticking out there, you got the cut around the neck there. They tie as far as the aesthetics, but the range of movement is better on this one. Now this, I do think this is the better articulation. Now if you go into a mirror all shirtless and you start twisting side to side, keeping your hips straight, you're going to notice that your belly button is going to more or less stay in the same spot. It's your chest that's actually rotating around, or your spine moves up here. It's going to churn right over here. Now I do feel like the U-joint does give us more range of movement than just the waist cut. Just all by itself, the waist doesn't move as far. Even on this figure right here, just the ball joint at the waist bends that far. You get a lot more right here than you do with this one right here. Okay, that's just the ball joint at the waist all by itself. But the combination of the two, you do get more bending forward with Fei Long. By a whole ton? Is it drastically? It's a bit more without moving the hips forward. You can see that. Now, I do think the G.I. Joe Classified quick kick over here, actually, with the waist joint and then the U-joint up top, you get even more range of movement over here with this guy. So I think this is actually better. This form of articulation is actually better, but he's not going to move as anatomically correct by turning so much side to side at the waist and not at the diaphragm. However, I feel like you do get more range of movement over here. Does it look better? I guess they look about the same. So I guess this would win this set of articulation versus this one, depending on what you like, though. See, there's something about churning at the diaphragm that I really do like because it's a lot more realistic looking. We don't churn at the belly button. The belly button stays forward for the most part. So I do like this, but I also like this one. This one ties it for me, but we're talking about what's going to be the best one, and I still think it's this right here because with both joints, it moves just as far as this one right here. Not as far as this, so you do get more range of movement here than this articulation system. However, this looks better. So I'm going to say the Fei Long wins it. So I do agree with Anthony's Customs on this matter. As far as torso articulation goes, I would agree that the hips getting a ball joint as well as the diaphragm over here getting the ball joint, I think that's the better way to go. It's a little tricky to tell because he's got pants on, and if you're going to compare it, you know, like a Spider-Man should get all that range of movement, but, you know, on the Mafex figures, it works really well for me too. So you get all kinds of motion side to side, and for the aesthetics, it just looks better. Yeah, you can see a little hole if you bend all the way back right there. You're going to come across some stuff, you know, there's going to be gappage, but I think Jada Toys has nailed it as far as giving us like the ultimate 1/12 scale figure torso articulation, and I think Marvel Legends has nailed it as far as giving us the #1 best head articulation. Again, I bring up the thing with the photos. That matters a lot because that's how you can tell. You can say it in a review like this, just showing it, but when I actually take photos of these things, that's when it really comes through. So let me know what you guys got to say about it. Again, I would like to see Anthony's Customs post a response on this. I'm curious to know what he's got to say about it. But this definitely has the most range of movement than any of the other figures that I showed off here today. I don't think there's anything else I could look up as much as that one while maintaining a good aesthetic look. Or equal to that. Because this one, you got an extra cut around the neck. You can't even see anything wrong with the neck with this one at this point. If he's looking regular, just straight on, there's nothing distorting the body or anything. This one does. In neutral poses, you get the ring around the neck. So anyway, let me know what you guys got to say about it. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button. Hit that dislike button if you didn't. Take a look at my package if you want to. I'll show you one next time. And follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.